first tattoos done. But
was it called Skin Deep?
No, it's called Soul Signature. Shout out to them. They are honestly the best people in the industry. I mean, obviously.
Where's it at? Michigan?
Honolulu. It's it's in Honolulu.
You don't remember where at though?
They actually they got a new shop. I haven't got a tattoo done at the new shop. They used to be near Ala Moana, the big mall. But yeah, what's that? I love Luck. Lucky, he does really good work. Oh no shit, that's Small World. Yeah, Lucky dude. He is an inspiration. He's one person who kind of told me like, this is something you want to do. Because honestly, big shout out to Soul Signature because they took a lot of good care of me, and to the point where I didn't even feel comfortable being there. Because I was the Howley, I was the white guy.
What was your nickname?
I had a couple, but the main one was Bear Trainer. They'd call me Bear Trainer, and I like that.
That's in English. I wanted to hear something funny.
And then when I wore my suit, they'd call me Gary Busey, which
Oh, Gary Busey!
I can see
it.
But
That's
but
it.
Petty
You talk. Give me two.
Yeah.
You are Gary Busey. I dig it.
But the guy who tattooed me, his name's Isaiah, and it's all tap, and if any, I would die for those people. I love them, and the way they treated me, especially being an outsider. And Honolulu is a hard place to live. The average
people don't know that, but yes, tell us about that.
The average. If you're just a Joe Schmo, you're gonna have 3 jobs. It just
it's expensive. It's expensive.
It is what it is, and
but they try to rough you up because you're a white boy.
No, the opposite. They took great care. One of the jokes they had was Isaiah adopted me, because when I first went to Isaiah, because it was a dream to get a tattoo, and that's the name of the tattoo I have.
Yes.
I even told them, I was like, I came to Hawaii. I didn't want the fake luau. I wanted the real. I want to see the real Hawaii, because that's
why I hang out with Robert,
right? But he took that. And he really appreciated that, and he kind of took me under his wing in a sense where I've done so many fucked up, dumb things, like mistakes, and they easily could have been like, hey, don't come around here again. But they always loved me, and they always take care. I could hit them up today, and if I could be like, hey, I flew in, they'd come pick me up or something, or I'd be at the shop hanging out for a couple hours, and I wanted to leave because I think I was 25 when I started volunteering there. And they would pay me crazy good money because it's tattooing. Tattooing is pretty lucrative now with Instagram and this
Hell
and
yeah.
that. But it was one of those things where I didn't feel like, not that I didn't earn it, but it's just I felt like they were taking care of me, and I want my own. I want to have my own business. I want to go back when I'm established and finish my other tattoos, and I just, because I knew if I was there, I would always be the guy who was getting help because eventually I probably would have got my feet, but in that specific environment, because I could always go to Samoa and to what's called Koso. So
have you been there?
I got offered. It's just kind of expensive. This was a couple years ago.
You're gonna get wifed up down there, man. I see a big guy like you. You look like a white god to them.
No, they're all beautiful people, but it's just like $800 to get down there. But long story short, I got offered to do Koso, which is 3 people do tatau traditionally. One person is tapping, which is with the 2/6, then 2 people
spreads it open.
Yeah, exactly. That's one way of saying it. But I got to do that, and that's what I did. It is a fact. You're keeping the skin straight so you can get, because you have to get straight lines. You can't get curves in tatau. It's all, they use what's called a comb, and that's what makes that's like the needle. It's called comb. They have different sizes and different widths, and I
remember you explained earlier, there's places that normally people won't be kind of shaky by going, like you said, you actually had to spread the butt cheeks apart to get in certain areas and to make it look straight.
You got a tattoo in your butt crack, Joe?
I mean, I would rather get one.
Looks tattooed.
It could have started in his back originally, and then
it does fold up in his back, so maybe they could start there.
I mean, I would definitely get one of them.
It's a beautiful one.
Yeah, beautiful one, right there.
Right there.
Yeah. Saying welcome to paradise.
The man, the myth.
And there goes the legend.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, Honolulu is sick.
Joe, for some reason, now that we have Gary Busey here, I think it was NYPD Blue. Joey looks like Dennis Franz to me today. Dennis Franz? Pull up Dennis Franz.
You're not talking about What's the...
Because the hair. Look at Joey's hairdo. In the 5 head.
Today I relaxed it today. I actually put coconut oil.
And Dennis Franz is Joey's lookalike.
No way I'm not looking like that guy. Hell no. Get out of here with that.
Pull it up and
nonsense.
Let Sean and let everybody else get a little.
No.
That's not a good one.
No?
No, that's messed up, dude. No way. Get out of here, Dondo.
I like that guy.
No, but he's bald. I'm not bald. I have all my hair, bro.
It's the beak, the mustache.
Yeah, nice try. Fucking
It was an attempt.
freaking tattoo.
It was an attempt, Dondo.
What's that?
It was an attempt. You
It
tried.
was.
No, don't listen to Don.
He called Sean Middle Eastern. I'm calling him Dennis Franz.
Well, that's no. Come on.
That was the hidden Middle Eastern, I
Right?
guess. You know, the one. We
Nice
forgot
try
to
there,
say.
Dondo.
He's Middle Mexico.
He was making his pilgrimages to Mecca and then got lost.
He's
fell
from
on a
Michigan. He's
boat.
from Michoacan. It's all good, Gary Busey. We love you, man.
You
Dig
did
your
mention
movies.
something quite interesting earlier,
What
going
was
back to what you said about like just the comparisons between training MMA and training jiu-jitsu. What is it kind of like? I guess I want to say the environment and just the type of people you meet in an MMA gym versus the type of people you
Fucking
meet in the
animals.
type of mental, yeah,
Animals, you know.
Yeah.
It's
in a
just,
jiu-jitsu gym.
because you think about it, like, I mean, I'm not the first person to ever say this, but you think about the people who are willing to lock themselves in a cage with a stranger.
Oh, we're all
and-
crazy.
Yeah, you know, we're all, you know, it just there's a funny saying in the circus. We're all crazy. Some are just better at hiding it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what it is. I don't know what makes people want to fight. You know, because first off, there's a big difference between fighting and then MMA. Because you can't. Obviously, there's similarities, but somebody who's training MMA and somebody who gets drunk and fights people at a bar or fights over a girl, or you know, those are more emotionally. That's not MMA. That's those are emotions.
MMA is discipline.
It's very disciplined. That's what I love about it. It's a sport. It's, you know, at the end of the day, it's you know, it's technical. You know, that's what I love about it. As much as a chaos it can become, you know, it's controlled chaos in a sense.
There you go.
Because it's a sport. I really respect the martial arts individually, but when you're doing a sport, it is no longer a martial art because there are points, there are stalling moments, there are things where you've eliminated the art.
Yeah, and you put too much time into it. You know, it's not easy. I have gone broke doing jiu-jitsu more times than I got fingers on my hands. Like, I've spent every dime out of my bank account.
It's a tough
paying-
$100 a month.
Well, I don't know. 10th planet, they tax the 10th planet. But
Really?
you think about like what do you want to do out of it? Like, because I look at it like it's an investment, because once you get good enough to the point where you can leave and start your own moon, then it's a career. Then you get to do what you want, and then you're living your life, and you're happy, and you don't have to do this rat race. You have to grind. It might take 10 years. It might take 15 years. It might take it takes as long as you're willing to make it.
Where would you like your moon to be?
Bali, just because I want to do it in Japan, but the thing is, Japan's already taken, and there's kind of like a little, you know, it's what it is out there. Maybe Hokkaido. The thing is, if I were to do it in Japan, Tokyo's a spot. There's no other, you know what I mean? You
The
can do
rent in
Okinawa.
Tokyo will kill you.
Was that?
You need like 500 students just to pay your bills.
Oh no, it's not that bad. I've been there enough.
Bali,
to know.
dirt cheap. You could survive on 10 students.
Yeah, no, 100%. No, I mean,
They're
it's,
Hindu. You get your thing down
you
there.
get your mushrooms out there. They have mushrooms legal, so it's
You
like
can get
you
it.
know, apples and oranges.
They're Hindu, bro. It's the main islands, Jakarta. You're not gonna. They'll cut your head off.
Yeah, they
But
don't joke
in
around.
Bali, it's Hindu. They're chill. They invented it. The ganja came from them. They even invented the word ganja.
He's not lying.
I know for a fact. So, two different islands, not far from each other, but you're right about one island.
They make coffee out of shit. Marijuana was
They do.
involved. You know.
Well, there's a rodent there that shits out the, you know. Have you
Yeah.
drink that coffee? Shit coffee?
I was there.
It's a little bitter.
Yeah. You know, it's nothing.
Little nutty
it's
taste.
It's nothing special. I mean,
No?
actually, what's crazy is a lot of the other coffees that
Was it shitty?
Indonesia it was a shit. You know, no, it was
A little
interesting.
muddy.
I wouldn't pay the $50 a cup, whatever the
Oh,
word.
it's
It's
expensive.
stupid. It's not.
They
worth
also
it.
have Viagra coffee over there. You try that?
Oh no, I
It's
didn't.
got the sildenafil in it. Drink a cup of coffee and you're a rocket.
Damn.
You're a rock star. Joey, drink a cup of coffee and die. Look at him.
You get smaller, all the blood goes down there.
He loses all the blood.
Sixteen sizes.
You'd save money on the headstone. Just, you know.
Yep. He took one for
He's
the
like
team.
that guy from Scary Movie after in the bedroom.
He's
like,
trying to show it to Sean again.
That's a fake story, folks.
Thank God. So bull or no bull, we called him bull.
Oh, we finally got to one of those stories.
Yes, we finally got. Did you have
finally
a
came
bull or no
back.
bull prepared?
Normally, because of timing, we throw him on the show. So I kind of like.
We don't pay attention to time. We're trying to follow in the footsteps of the great gods of Joe Rogan's.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no time limits.
No time
Yeah, I
limits.
see.
This is a no time limit show.
Or following in the footsteps of the Fight Life Connoisseurs with a 2.5
Yes,
hour.
I like that.
podcast
Did you guys do
broke.
2.5 hours?
Me and Geoff.
Fight Life Connoisseurs. See,
Is
this
that-
is the Fight Life sewer. You're the connoisseurs.
I am the connoisseur.
So you do your own podcast?
I do.
That's
Yes.
sick. You gotta
We
plug
do. It's called Fight Life Connoisseurs on YouTube, Instagram. You know.
Okay.
We have similar guests from around the area: Jeffrey Malore, Aaron Tohill. We early on we had I feel bad almost forgetting his name, Matt Horowitz, who's actually trained with an upcoming fighter on this upcoming card, Jan Blachowicz.
Okay.
Which we'll get back to around in my segment. But let's get back to you, Jeff.
You see that?
Yeah, that's a good little plug. Yeah, that's very professional. I like that.
I like it,
I did also want to expand on my question before, because you gave a little bit of an insight, but I kind of want to get more into more of the casual sides, like. Because a guy like me or you or just anybody in here, we all love martial arts, whatever it is, whether it be jiu-jitsu or MMA guys.
Even Joey with the videotapes.
Eat, sleep, breathe it. That's not everybody, There's casual people who just like to train to keep fit. There's people who love to do.
It's a fad. It's trendy now.
Cardio kickboxing. I would say will it defend you in the streets?
Question?
No.
I'm confused now.
The question he wants to know the casual side of it, I guess, right?
No,
So
what I
the
was saying
camaraderie.
is in terms of the culture, what's it like for a more casual person who may not want to compete? Like the average person who's like, I just want to.
It's still a life skill. I wouldn't tell somebody to not do jiu-jitsu, or I wouldn't tell somebody, you don't have to do jiu-jitsu, and it's okay to not compete. You don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who are instructors and they don't compete. It is what it is. Some people sometimes like the lights they don't like crowds. They don't like being in front of people. Everybody has their excuse. Not excuse, but everybody has their.
Sometimes there is a savage in the dojo, and they don't compete at all. But that he is world class level, or she's world class level. The best fighter, the best guitar player, the best surfer, the best BMX rider in the world is somebody who pulled it off today and nobody even fucking saw it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A select few get out there and showcase their skills, and God bless them. We're all entertained by that, and we love that. But the best of the best sometimes just go and do their thing, and they are in their own zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we get a glimpse of that. Like somebody tells us, hey, this dude's fucking, and we check it out. And they are amazing. But it's never on the world scale or the world stage where we see it at that high level. I think that's the art of it. I think that's when you get to the essence of something.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I think for somebody who doesn't do jiu-jitsu, if they started doing jiu-jitsu,
it's a
100%. Yeah, I know, right? It's 100% going to change your life in a positive way, for the most part. And maybe it's not like a big amount at start in the beginning.
At the very least, it should be an ego check and a self-esteem builder at the same time.
People don't understand that. I know a lot of people who they don't get it. Like I just the other day I had somebody who, when you're like kind of roughhousing with like a coworker or whatever, and I don't mind that, but at the same time, like you got to remember, like you can't push somebody and then to get mad because they push you back.
Yeah.
Like basically, this guy was roughhousing with me, and then I choked him, and then he got really upset with me because he thought I was trying to hurt him, and I had to explain to him, it's like this is what I do for a job. My job is to put you to sleep. That's what I wake up in the morning to do. So it's.
Joey's asleep already.
My eyes are completely. It's funny you say because I mean people say you look like you have Chinese eyes every time you do. I go no, my eyes are actually fully open. Look, I walk here. My eyes really wide.
You're like a Sharpay, many layers.
I'm gonna lose it.
You never had it.
See, we talked about earlier, but we'll just save it for Bull or No Bull. I'm just going to leave it there.
Do you have a Bull or No Bull?
Yeah, I have like 3 little quick stories.
Before we go to this next segment, I want to tell you, please like us, subscribe to us, share the link, because it's so important to us to continue doing what we're doing. We got Geoff Fruchey here from 10th Planet HQ. So excited to hear his story. So we got Florida, we got California, we got the circus, but we haven't touched base really with what's going on with him now. So we're going to do that in just a moment. But Joey, who's looking at the stars at the moment, is going into...
I'm just mad at you right now.
Bull or No Bull? I didn't ever see your junk. You got to be mad at the other guy you're showing your junk to.
My feelings are so hurt.
I would step on that thing you showed to me.
Welcome to Bull or No Bull with Joey the Bull.
Very noble of you.
And I got 3 quick little stories. Not too crazy major, but it's just three things I want to ask you first.
I hope they're good stories.
No, they're not. They're just they're just quick little, just all bullshit. So 3 things. What's the grossest thing you ever done? What's the most embarrassing thing you ever done? And what's the thing you normally do that you don't even talk about that you always do daily?
This is different.
Oh, I could eat that one. I could.
So for me,
start with the one that's comfortable for you. Let's hear it.
Okay. For normal for me. Okay. Well, let's go. No. Because I'm gonna tell you my story after that.
Yeah.
So for a normal daily thing that you don't really share with anybody, that you don't just do it. What do you do that's kind of out there and weird?
I mean, honestly, that I would.
It's got to be something we don't all do. We all know we do that a lot.
No, No, I would just say chewing the nails. I have a really bad habit of that. I've had that since I was a kid. I can't stop it. I just can't.
You gotta lay off the meth.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could stop. That shit's a hard habit. But as far as like a weird,
you gotta
habit,
make. I'm sorry. So we got to make sure your nails are clean because I mean I'm
You
pretty
could
sure.
get COVID from chewing your fucking.
Well, I mean I'm pretty sure after you use the restroom.
I'm not condoning chewing your nails. I'm just saying that's. I'm just saying.
We gotta
I'm
make sure you
pretty
got clean hands to do
That's
that.
one thing. If I could like put on paper like I wish I could stop doing it, it'd be chewing my nails.
That's smart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
a dirty
crazy.
one because shit gets
one,
jammed
yeah.
in there. Might be there for a week. You chew on it, you got week old
The
flavor.
worst is when you're doing jujitsu and you're on your way and you forgot to clip your nails. You're like,
Oh yeah,
gotta
that's true.
do something.
Or you already done it and there's sweat and shit all over it. You chew them off anyways.
Well, one of the weirdest
Nobody's
things that
noticed.
same with him, the weirdest things that I catch myself doing is sometimes, I fit around with my nose.
Oh, he's just like.
And then I find a big old
tickles his
fat,
brain.
I find a big old fat crunchy one and I kind of look at it.
Oh,
I'm like, damn, that's a fucking hard fucking booger. And I'm like, oh.
you ate it?
And I spit it out.
Oh,
That's
why would you
some-
eat it?
Just letting you know, that's one of the things I normally do. That's not
Why do
normal.
you have crustaceans growing on you? Probably
And-
a big
and-
booger on your hand.
But same time about him eating his nails. You got to make sure after
You
you
didn't
take
eat
a
'em,
shit,
he
you
spits
wash
'em
your
out.
hands because. Anyway,
we tried
I
to
didn't
put
know
a
you eat
filter on
boogers.
Joey for 2 weeks and we let it off one time.
now what's the most grossest thing you ever did in your life?
You got a whole lifetime to look at this, and you worked for the circus, so tell us what you did. Now, Adam, our co-host here, he had a buddy that put things in his mouth that you probably don't want to roll with the guy afterward.
Oh really? Hey, it's
But
California.
Adam-
You can't
But
judge
Adam
anymore.
rolled with him anyways.
This was after practice. He told me this story.
Well, they practiced together.
You're just trying to put him in a necktie. He's really trying to choke him out.
Yep.
So what's the grossest thing you ever done in your life that really nobody knows about that you can share with the world?
I mean, gross. I try not to be gross. I mean,
Well,
nobody's
you
perfect.
ate
I
something
know,
funky in Japan.
Yeah, there's some funky shit in Japan.
Did you eat it?
Oh yeah, you gotta do it. You
You
gotta
ate
eat
the
some
Japanese beaver? Tell us about it.
No, not Japanese beef. I would say the grossest thing is, dude, India's. I was in India, and that was.
And you've traveled the world more
I've
than
been
even
around.
me. Okay,
Yeah, I
India.
like
Where did
traveling.
you go in India?
It's not anywhere specific. It's just I was in Mumbai one time, and I
That's the
accidentally.
capital.
Yeah, is it?
I don't know.
I think New Delhi is, isn't it?
It is probably.
But one time I was walking, and we just got our hotel, and I'm walking around the city trying to find just to walk around, and
It's dirty.
It's very dirty. In Mumbai, I did this thing where I accidentally, I was wearing sandals. I made that mistake because we were the first day there. Anyways, I'm walking down what I thought was a street, which they don't really have. I mean, Mumbai is more futuristic than any other
Yeah.
city, and then, I mean,
It's
as far
the
as
most populated city on Earth.
yeah, it's crazy. But I stepped in some what I thought was cow shit, which I'm gonna tell people I think is cow
it's
shit.
human poop.
And then that was pretty bad, and I had to walk around because there's no there's no public bathrooms and stuff, so you're just walking. It's early in the morning, so it's I had to basically. I walked up to what I thought was a puddle, and it looked like they didn't look like it was clean water. And I'm like, well, I don't want to. I don't
There's
want.
no clean
you can't
water.
wash off shit off your foot with piss. That just that's two negatives. But so I ended up having to hop on one foot to a bathroom and just not a bathroom, it was a furniture store. And obviously I'm lucky being a tourist. It's you kind of get away with some shit. But
But you stunk like hell,
I mean,
right? You stepped in Joey the cow.
yeah. But that's probably as far as grossest as I stepping in shit in India. It's not stepping in shit
You
because
could get dysentery from that.
yeah, it's
Or
India.
hepatitis.
It's just that's just a little different.
A
That's
lot of things.
It had a lot of turmeric in it.
That's crazy. But the grossest thing the grossest thing I ever did in my life is, at the time, when I was trying to cut weight, I decided to chug down this big thing of prune juice, right?
That's not gross.
Listen, god dang it. So I chugged it down at nighttime, thinking that in the morning I'm going to get up and take the biggest shit ever. So I chugged this whole thing down. I go to sleep. And of course, I forget I chugged this thing down and I had a fart in bed. And next thing you know, I let it go and I realized, oh, fudge. I drank prune juice, and it was a shotgun of shit that went all over my comforter. So when I woke up, it was literally like a piece of art that's kind of blew up across my
Tells
blanket.
me this happens without prune juice. You
I
gotta
know.
lose-
It did
Joey's got a
happen.
loose caboose.
It did happen. Chugging prune juice, and I forget I did it, and I thought I had a fart, and it was just...
Yeah, what are you cutting
That was
weight
what I
for?
was curious.
No, I was just
For a
cutting weight
hot
because
dog
I
eating
want...
contest?
No, just because I was maintaining my weight at the time, and I was, trying to keep in shape.
You're just
He had a
losing
wedding
weight.
he was going to that weekend.
Yeah, that's like I said. I hate bringing it. When I was to 220, I was liking that weight, and I was up to 225 to almost 230. I wanted to, so
Cutting weight. This is a lie.
No, it's not a lie.
This is already.
So what's the
Pull
most
on this
Sean
story.
called it right there.
so what's the
Cutting
most
weight.
embarrassing thing you ever did in your life that you don't really share with anybody?
This is tough.
These are hard ones on the spot, you know.
Hey, the thing you don't tell anybody, can you blast it out to the internet real quick?
Yeah, right.
for
Tell
us?
the entire world.
No, you don't want anyone to know.
You know, I'll say
Joey
like
makes
this.
them up, so make one up.
Yeah, right. No, I'll just say that this is a simple answer would be growing up as a fat kid. That just taking your shirt
You're
off
a
in
fat
public.
kid?
I was
Because you're a
big.
tall kid now.
No, I was really big. I come from a very obese. Not everybody in my family is obese, but it's.
So how did you lose it? Because there's some people in this room that want to know.
I was doing football, and I always was a bench warmer. And going on to the varsity, the coach told me, he's like, "Hey, if you lose weight, I'll start you." And, just to like kind of motivate me and all that. And I think in 3 months, in one summer, I lost 110 pounds.
Wow. But when you're a kid, you can do that. It's harder when you're an adult, right?
But I wish if I could go back in time, I'd do a little, because I was basically cutting. I was doing very, very small amount of calories and just running. I would run 5 miles a day. I'd run 4 miles. I got addicted to running, and I got to the point where I had to do it. I
wish I could get that addiction.
But
I take one step, I'm over it.
Did you have that serious runner's high?
I get that same adrenaline high. I get that with jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah,
That's the
only
whole
thing.
thing.
Exactly
Everybody
right.
here can attest that except for Joey.
I still
He gets that from boxing videotapes.
Watch him come with his medals from all his kids he's taught, and you just drop it on all of us.
We know he taught kids well, and
Oh,
they went
yeah.
around the world and won medals. Yeah. We know this, right?
Joey's a staple of the community.
My most embarrassing story. Were you done with your story? I'm sorry.
You got so many.
No, like the last one right here. I asked him. I was typing to ask. The most embarrassing story I ever had was I was in San Diego one night.
Oh, this is very specific.
And I took a shower
with Sean Lerman.
And I had a towel. And I had a towel around me. I had a towel around me. And I decided to walk. And next to the towel, because I'm a big dude, they don't make towels my size. It falls off, and my dick was hanging out, and there was Sean. Oh, that was the most embarrassing thing that happened. And me in San Diego. I had a towel around me, it slipped off because they don't make towels that big for my big ass, and it fell off, and my shit was just hanging out, and Sean was like Home Alone. Oh, Kevin!
I wish there was a camera on Sean's stink face he's giving you right now.
Good.
So that's the end of
internal
my
rage.
segment. That's a new little segment.
That's a nice plug. I like
Yeah,
that.
thank you. So, and this was brought to you by Our Life CBD. Check them out. Check them out. No, honestly, ourlifecbd.com. Check them out. This is the citrus one. This is actually helping out the little issue I got with my hand right now. It's actually clearing up. It's actually working.
One day Joey's going to be in pain and need CBD.
And honestly,
he's going to have to go elsewhere.
I'm not done plugging. And then you have Our Life CBD, the menthol, the deep tissue. That deep tissue stuff.
There's a map you can go check out.
That deep tissue, that stuff actually really works. My wife used it for her sciatica because she had a sciatica issue.
You rub her
and
sciatica?
she used it, and then she used it, and I put it on her, and she was feeling better. You know, so ourlifecbd.com. Check out the website. Check out everything about Our Life CBD. Believe me, he has the drops, he has the oils, he has the creams. It's worth it. Honestly, go on his Instagram, go on his Facebook. Check out the website, the testimonials, the videos about this kid that he's recovering great from taking the drops because his kid used to have crazy seizures. Now he's getting a lot better.
That's right, Angelman syndrome.
And that's what I'm talking
Baby
about.
Josh, and we love Baby Josh.
Even my
Shout out
mom,
to
who
him.
has scleroderma, a rare scar tissue disease, that does give her a lot of issues. I've used it on her, and we've used a lot of different
On
stuff.
your mom?
A lot of, my mother, yeah.
Scar tissue?
Scar tissue disease, yeah.
Where's
Whole
the
disease
issue
and
at? What part of the body?
Not to go too much into detail because there's kind of a lot to it. It's called scleroderma. She has a buildup, like her immune system's always attacking her, so she has like a buildup of just. It's a lot of combination of issues. Takes a while to get through, but yeah, it gives her scar tissue, gives her a lot of pain.
I'm blown away.
Very tightens up of the joints and everything.
Wow.
And I started using it for her, and she's like, "Wow, that's one of the first things that worked instantly for me was the pain menthol."
So you would hear. Check out ourlifecbd.com. Check it out. Sean's a great dude. Even though I talk a little shit on him, but he's an awesome guy. Awesome guy to have a slumber party with, as you can say. It was nice.
You got very intimate with him.
It was very nice. Yeah,
That's odd.
we slept and we had breakfast, and it was beautiful. Ourlifecbd.com.
The broken yoke, huh? He broke your yoke.
I broke my yoke for sure. Anyway, back to our show. This is Bull No Bull, but back to our Jim Crasher show with our guest Geoff Dondo.
Geoff Fruchey. Can you say it? Fruchey.
I said Fruchey.
Like Gucci.
Gucci. Like Gucci. Namaducci.
Right?
That's right.
Fruchey. Say it.
Fruchey.
Like Poochie.
See?
Yeah, I have no clue where that name's from either. It's
don't
funny.
know?
No, people ask me all the time, and I'm
You
like,
look Norwegian. Gary Busey Norwegian.
Honestly, I'm kind of afraid to find out. Could you imagine, like, because it's like
You
with that
should
20.
do the 23andMe.
I'm afraid.
Oh no, hold on. Didn't we talk
Blue eyes? Come on, I don't want to know some shit I don't need to know.
No, this is
Girl,
no
you're from
bullshit.
Zimbabwe.
This is no bullshit, Jeff. We were talking about this at San Diego, how we should buy those kits and then do all of our mouth swabs to see
A big reveal.
where we're really from. Because
I'd be down, but
I explained
I bet
my
we all
heritage
know.
and
I
everything
know.
else, my culture.
The only person that's gonna be a shock is you, because the rest of us kind of know.
Yeah,
what
I'd
we
be
are.
shocked.
No, mine would be confusing.
You would be.
My actually on my dad's side makes more sense than my mom's side. Both my grandparents came from families of 13, so there's a lot of people there of just different cultures and everything.
But that doesn't mean you came from 13 different places. You said 13 kids in one family.
No, I'm saying like
Your math
if you
is
look
odd.
at ethnic wise on that side of the family, like
Think
there's
so?
people from all over the map. Yeah,
It was the
Say so.
bomb.
I bet it's more narrow than you think.
maybe. Who knows?
I bet.
Yeah, but both people on both sides of my family don't know, and I'll even say like this: when my grandfather died, they didn't know what my nationality was, so they just put Australian. Because on my mom's side, their last name's Foster,
I love that.
so it's like nope, not even my
Yes.
mom's side knows, and my dad's side knows. So it's just
Foster's.
Yeah.
It's Australian for beer.
Good
So
day, mate.
yeah. My grandpa died Australian, which is kind of interesting.
Well, that makes sense then. You're probably raised by criminals.
Yeah.
Because
You
from
call that a
Australia.
knife?
Call that a knife?
No, but if you send a bunch of criminals to an island and they all grow up, then they don't know where they're from.
That's true.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
So maybe you are of criminality.
Yeah. He's like a
Perfect sense.
RoboCop. Drop it. Anyway.
Joey makes a lot of 80s movies references because he hasn't watched TV in quite some time.
No, I do watch TV.
What's new that you've watched?
What I watch new, besides all these freaking reality shows, man, like all the 90 Day Fiancés
That's on right
and
now. That's what he watches.
honestly, it's you get hooked. You get hooked.
Dude, I've walked by. My mom's watching that all the time.
90 Day Fiancé?
90 Day
Oh,
Fiancé.
man.
The
It's
couch
it's
one.
very interesting.
Even I catch myself stopping. I'm making fun of them. Like,
It's your most embarrassing moment.
I
right
guess
there.
I can see the entertainment in that if you're just watching this for like the.
I like it's a
It's
good like 2
it's-
minutes, but I couldn't get through a whole show.
I've never seen it, so I'm gonna have to watch it now.
I can see if you're like in a shitty relationship and you're like, okay, it's not so bad when you're watching those ones. You
It's
know?
all about
It's
you
even
finding
funnier if you're single.
a mate across the
Because
other
you're
side
like,
of
how
the
did you
world
get
and bring them
caught?
to America and trying to live the life as an American.
The worst ones is when I don't know, I've never really watched the episodes, but like just in those same situations, like people will send money to a stranger like multiple times, and it's just like,
I wish
how the
they'd send it to
fuck?
me.
No, there was a guy on that show. It was a Russian chick that he was sending money to, and he flew out there
Yeah.
like 3 times
That is fucking
and never got to see her
insanity.
until
That's
towards
insane.
the end. And he still thinks this day that he's still in love with her.
Why did
Yo,
he fly
she
there?
hated him
That's
too.
insane.
Remember that?
She was so mean to like this ugly ass
She
wild
took
old
his
white
money?
guy.
And he was from Vegas, right? The
yeah,
guy from
he
Vegas.
was so mean.
So wait, he sends her money. He flies there
Multiple
3 times
times.
and
Multiple
doesn't
times.
even get dinner.
Flew out 3 times and didn't get to
Racks
see her.
too, racks, right?
Yeah.
Not just racks.
And why did he fly? For his own urges, or did she tell him, "Please come here," and then ditched him?
He just thought he was in love with her because that was the finest thing. Because you look at this guy, he's fucking ugly. I mean, that's the.
He's probably watching. Shout out, subscribe.
yeah.
love you, dude. But
We still love you.
Hey, love you,
but
my
you're
guy.
fucking ugly.
I mean,
I
I'm
love
just
my
saying.
guy. You got no game.
Got no game,
Very
bro.
Nice, Joe.
No game.
I mean, I'm ugly
sorry I
too.
called you Dennis Franz. I'm sorry.
You jerk.
I think it suited it.
What's up, Bill Chew? We got some of our guests here watching. We got Bill Chew, we got Vito, we got Paul, got my wife Mindy watching, and we got Eddie Flores watching the show. What's up, folks? And we got plenty more in the online, just watching, but not really
Facebook.
chatting.
That's just the YouTube, right? Or is that the
This
Facebook?
is Facebook. I'm not sure what's on YouTube.
Tarius Moss is on YouTube.
Who?
Tarius Moss.
Terry.
Oh, that's my friend. Yes, shout
What's
out
up?
to Terry.
Awesome.
See, I'm getting your views. Look at that shit.
I like that.
So we should
You're
bring in
getting
our
views.
boy Adam on the
Actually,
segment?
I wanted to ask Jeff a quick question before we hop onto
Let's
my
talk about
segment.
Jeff a little bit more.
Let's talk about Jeff a little bit more because he mentioned something interesting that I want to find out about. Is
13 inches.
no, I was talking about
That's his foot.
competition. I was talking about competitions and how you said you wanted to compete and potentially compete in some some great venues, some high level. So, what is your competition experience in terms of martial arts, and when can we see you compete?
Well, at this moment, I mean, it can be all out of state. It comes down to financial. Like it's really hard to judge.
I have a
you know,
teammate out going to Mexico having to fight. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
in California. That's not a big deal. It's one
Right.
county away.
That's true.
Mexico's that other thing right south of us.
Yeah.
But I like your thinking. I know for a young guy, Mexico's far, but it's not that far.
Well, I'm out here by myself. I don't have I don't know what his background is or what he's.
Oh, you
doing.
are by yourself?
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm out here. This. Yeah, that's why. If I had more, if I had all the money in the world, I would do every competition that there's in America right now. Or I would go to Mexico to compete, but it's the training.
They don't make
the,
Mexicans your size.
Actually,
Not
it's a
really.
sad story.
Papi Ceja. Try it.
But
That would be good.
I went to Vegas, and actually, you're not lying about that because I went to Vegas for a competition, and I went there, and I you know, it's one of those things where you put in the time, you pay for the ticket, you invest all this shit. I go there, and not one person in my weight class. You know what I'm saying? It's like those are things where you can't. I mean, again, I'm lucky to be in the heavyweight division because it's like I feel like that's if I could choose a division, I would choose to be, especially now with the UFC the way it is. Like, there's not a lot. I mean, obviously there's some big hitters who are some scary dudes.
When you check the rankings, it's
not a lot of people, and a lot of them are not. They've been there for some years. So
Tanner Bozer's had like 2-3 fights in the UFC. Not many fights in the UFC. He's almost already ranked top 15. He's close.
Yeah, that's all, and that's the cool part. Is like it's not it's not impossible. You know, it's
No,
you know. I mean,
it's
I could
definitely
you
not.
know, it's just gonna take a lot of work and time and
So
never
do
giving
you
up.
not have a gym you're training out here?
Well, so I was going at 10 Planet Long Beach, but then I live in Long Beach right now. So HQ, I stopped going to HQ when the Corona first started because in Long Beach itself, it's really super strict on the.
And it burned down.
It did burn down. But it's just one of those things where it's
terrible.
like,
But
it's very
they
terrible. It's
raised
so
a
sad.
significant amount of money in a very short time.
Yeah, but that's
so
not-
shout out to Donna Gonzalez and shout out to the community of 10 Planet because everybody gives, man.
It's true, and that's the cool thing about being in. It is a community, and that's why I rep 10 Planets so hard because it is a family. It is a community. We're all together. We're all in this boat, you know. And that's what kind of makes it hard because I do train a lot in Japan, and I train under Imanari, and it's as a career.
How different is Imanari training versus being here in America? What is the ritual in the daily?
Well, he trains multiple different schools, so I can't say in all of his schools, but the school I do go to is in Kagurazaka, and long story short, that one it's a little bit laid back. It's not like it's not it's not a strict school, but at the same time like it's early mornings, it's 6 a.m. So you have to, and that's why I like 6 a.m. classes because it really weeds out who wants to be there. If you're lazy and you got a lot of quit in you, you're not making a 6 a.m. class. You know, because you got to be up before 6. You got to be dressed, ready to roll.
Be in bed by 10.
Yeah, and that honestly, that's what sucks about being in Japan sometimes because it's a 24-hour city. And the first time before I started training with Imanari, the first time I went there, I'd be up to 5 or 6 every morning. You know, but then if you're trying to go to these classes, you can't do that. So now it's ironic. I live in Tokyo. When I do live there, I go to bed super ass early because I have to train. You know, and because that's one of the coolest things about being out there is to be able to train with a legend. You know, and it's just money. I mean, it's actually ironically cheaper than the 10 Planet system, but it's not even about money at that point. It's just being able to talk to a legend and to learn from him. And like I was telling you earlier, he's 44 years old, still competing, still getting after it. And he might even go to the UFC for a couple of years. Who knows?
Isn't he with one championship?
He is one. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He would like to be in UFC, but he got a contract, and you can't hate on somebody who's already making money.
a good crowd.
And it's not
big thing right now. Yeah.
I would love to see him at least get one UFC fight. At least one. Just if it just
like a contender series fight at least or something.
Yeah, just even something. Just because it's nothing to take away from everything he's done. He's done a lot of cool ass shit. I just think I envision him with in the UFC cards.
Yeah, well, with the UFC, it's UFC's more of casuals. Most people know the UFC. Most people.
Well,
I
we're
bring
in the
up one
United States too. If you're in Asia, they're gonna know of one.
Yeah.
That's true. Actually, in Japan itself, it's hard to say this because it does kind of come from martial arts for a sense. They come from different countries, but
India, dude, super fights.
Right.
Did you see those super fights there?
Mm.
Yeah, India's got some MMA. Yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Just one people? Is it one person? One-on-one,
No, yeah, one-on-one.
Okay, cool.
No, not like the Russian.
Not the
mobs.
Russian 5-on-5 shit, which I don't. That's
You ever seen the Russian team
Yeah.
kickboxing?
We'll start putting it on Jim's Crashes if you
They
want.
make us look like pussies. That's all there is to it.
Well, they don't have lawsuits like we do.
That's
They don't have
Everything gets swept
commissions
under the
like we
rug.
do.
Yeah, there's no commission. Yeah,
They don't have the same
it's all
commissions.
Vlad. Whatever Vlad wants happens.
Yeah, but to answer your
He's
question
a
about
judo
that,
guy. He's a judoka.
judo.
Yeah. President of Russia is a judoka, high-level judoka.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Yeah. Big
And sambo.
over there.
Sambo,
Sambo's
too.
the shit. Actually, what's funny is sambo is what because the person
That's a great martial art that people don't recognize very often is sambo.
right the person who made me want to be an MMA fighter is Andrei Arlovsky. He's
Yeah.
he's the person who he made me think okay, this is something I want to do. I want to be like that guy. Like that. I want what he's doing is something I want to do. And he's a sambo dude. And I
He's had a long
honestly
career, dude. He's had a long career.
and he's still kicking
going.
ass. And the thing is he doesn't
He
even have
came
to
back.
do it. Yeah. He doesn't have to. He's old. You know,
I believe
can
he's
quit.
coming off a win too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
He's definitely a cool ass dude. Definitely a cool fighter to watch.
I like his teeth.
Hey, speaking, what do you think of this fight, the Izzy versus Costa?
We will get to that
is the
soon.
We're gonna
next-
go, all right,
that's the next segment.
there's a time and place for it.
Don't
Okay.
burst
Time
your
and
bubble
place for that.
because otherwise he'll lose his job. We need to bring
That's
him
true.
up.
Dude, he might
Cool.
go.
I'm hella excited for that, though. We'll
We're
get to
hella
it.
excited
We'll
too.
get there.
But-
Absolutely.
So you're just kind of basically you're trying to scrounge up enough time to make so you can do your training camp right.
Yeah,
Get
I
a
mean, it's
fight.
more. Honestly, it's more about. I mean, right this very, very second, it's more of a. I stopped going to HQ for the sense that the
Oh,
Corona.
you did stop. I didn't know.
Well, I stopped because of Corona. Like this year is not. If it wasn't, because I was.
So when's the last time you trained? March?
Yeah, actually would have been right before March. It would have been like probably late February. And I was supposed to, when they reopened back up officially, I was supposed to go, but my mom was in town for a week. And then after that week, because I don't know if you remember it, all the gyms were open, but then
Yeah.
a week later they all closed again.
You walked into a gym today that's wide open.
I don't know about that. I don't see nothing. But
Allegedly.
it's just, and I take the train up there, and it's one of those things where I don't want. I'm so ready for to stop wearing a mask and to go back to like a normal sense of life. But at
That's
the same
2 years
time-
away.
Exactly. Who knows? It could be a depression. Who in the depression knew it was going to last 10 years? Nobody until it happened. So we could be in. I'm not saying it's going to be 10 years, but we don't know. Tomorrow might be the last day. It might be in 5. Who knows? It's all in the air right
That's
now.
true. I guess we could be going into something.
This could
more
easily be
severe.
10 years. Easily. I'm not being a fearmonger. I don't want it to. I want to go back to normal.
You're just being
but-
realistic. Like
Yeah,
anything could bring tomorrow, negative or positive.
I guess we should
anything
all
could
start
happen
growing
tomorrow.
stuff. We're going to need to be farmers.
But let's
Yeah.
look at the more
I know a farmer in
positive.
the room.
If let's say we do start
He's
going
seen
back to
something
normal,
wild in
things
San
start to
Diego.
open.
No, like on a normal schedule, I usually like to train at least 2 times a day, at least 2 a days, at the very minimum
course.
2 days. If once everything's, because the thing is like when
That's
you're
rough, dude. It's rough on the
Nah.
body. It's good to
the
be
4 days
It's
of the
good to
rough
be
ones.
27.
3 days is
No.
where it's fun.
Good
2
to be
days are all good.
27.
I
Robert
love-
could
no,
do it.
I-
Back in the day, Robert would eat it up, man. twice
I
a
could
day.
do 5 classes a day if I had the ability to do it. I there's nothing more. I am so addicted to jiu-jitsu and training and learning.
So tell me, in Japan,
And I'm
Imanari, do you go to the Kodokan? You learn anything there?
no, I did not.
Did you visit?
What's the Kodokan?
That's where jiu-jitsu was invented.
Oh, I didn't go there. No,
Yeah, I would like to see that.
that would be.
It's
cool.
like the original dojo.
no shit.
Maeda,
I'm gonna check that out.
Jigoro Kano.
Oh, okay,
He's the very first
that's awesome.
of the jiu-jitsu kind.
Learning some shit today.
Well, I thought you would know. You're over there. Would you eat
Yeah.
sushi? What do you do when you're over there?
It depends. I usually go there for 3 months at a time because that's how long you can stay. I stay at I have a girlfriend lives out there, so I spend a lot of time with her, obviously. But for me, it's just it's so interesting as
Culture, just
culture,
things are
food,
different.
people.
So what's the food? What are you eating when you're over there?
I love curry, and honestly, it's so good that I'm not
Me
there.
and Robert are curry hounds. We pound that stuff.
Yeah, curry udon, curry over rice, curry katsu, anything curry. I'll it's and honestly, I've been there 5 times now, so like it's not as exciting every time I go there anymore. And I know like what food I cook more than anything. And kimchi over there, you can get 1 kilogram of kimchi for like $3 because it just whereas over here
I didn't know the Japanese were big on kimchi.
they're big on it. Yeah, they're pretty big on it.
Anything fermented, I guess.
Anything
If you want to
fermented
translate that to Americans of kilograms to,
Yeah, right. Well, it's like 2 pounds, and like I think at Whole Foods, like 1 jar of kimchi is like $20, right?
Oh yeah,
that's not even.
it's outrageous.
It's
I don't
outrageous.
eat kimchi, so I would not know.
Oh
so.
man, you gotta
Good
change
for
that.
you.
It's really good
Make
for
your
you.
fart smell good,
That's one way of saying it.
right?
Yeah.
Joey, you're so quiet
know,
over there, little
you know,
buddy.
Joey.
Are you envisioning someone at the moment?
No, I'm just
Someone
listening.
sitting right in
I'm
front of you?
taking everything. Everything about what he's talking about. So I'm just listening.
It's been so quiet. We're not used to that.
Well, I just.
I don't want you dying on us.
I'm
We're
not
not talking.
Where do you think you would be competing in terms of MMA? Obviously, jiu-jitsu, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Any competitions, you don't really have in particular. But in terms of MMA, where are you kind of specifically thinking? You might
It's
make
probably
this
gonna be
cage debut.
Japan. It depends on how it works out. I actually had offers to fight in Japan, but the thing is, I was all by myself, and
Amateur or professional?
It was an amateur, obviously.
Okay.
But it was one of those things where it was Nuwazda. That was their. It was
Waza.
Yeah, that was who kind of put it on the show. The thing I knew the promoter too. He was an Australian gentleman. But it's one of those things where I didn't want to do the fight with not having a team. Like it was just all by myself, and it's like if I at least want somebody there to in case because anything can happen in a MMA fight,
What are you guys giggling about? Okay, I see Joey smiling and Robert laughing. What's going on in the chat room?
No.
Nothing they want to speak of?
No sharing with the class.
No, they're just asking why am I so quiet.
We want to know.
Well, we're letting the guests talk because every time I talk, it kind of goes sideways. So we're getting to know our guests.
You're a little odd, but we're trying to catch up with your oddness.
Well, I shared everybody my oddness about boogers and what else? Walking
I
with
bet
my.
you have worse habits than that,
Oh, I do. We'll probably share more of that next week.
right?
You do it every week. You tell you what the grossest thing you do.
Oh no, usually I have
You have to top yourself every week.
No, usually I have a segment called Blue and No Bull. It's like I tell 3 stories. One of them is true, and a lot of these stories I can't even think of anymore because most of them I told already about.
That's
Oh,
why
I
he
could have
hasn't
lied about any of that shit.
elaborated.
Oh man, I could have made something
You
funner.
could create though. You got to write better because everything doesn't just happen in Mexico when you're drunk.
Not in Mexico. I mean, talking about people I meet, people I run into, people I threaten. It's all good.
People I threaten.
But those are the real ones. So you probably have more real good stories, and then you just have to create the.
No, well, next week I'll come up with some cool
I'm
stories.
going to help you. We're going to have to talk about this, Joe.
I
think you're being one-sided. Oh, those are hot, Joe. Is those your girls?
My friends that come to the beach. There's a ton of women here. Fucking asshole.
Why do you hate Robert?
At least those women will always buy you,
You
things.
can't say you wouldn't fuck one of those girls. I'm being honest.
You can't say. You can't say
I can. I can.
You're in no position.
can.
you can't say you don't resemble one with a wig on. Well, just saying.
Adam cannot fuck one of those girls.
I cannot.
Oh, you could. You're the only one that'll
Bullshit.
fit. You are the only one that'll fit.
I'm the only one who won't.
No, back
crushed.
in the day, way before I got.
Joey and Robert
Listen,
with
listen.
them, that's mission.
No, listen. Back in the day, before I got married, I dated some big girls back in the
Oh, I
day.
believe it.
And these big girls, I was a
How
lot more
big?
thinner too. I was like, I was.
220?
Honestly, I was a lot thinner. I was in shape. But
You took
no, a
down-
lot of
you
these
took
big
down to
girls.
320
Let me
when you
tell
were
you, a lot of these big girls. Shut the fuck up. They'll buy you things. They'll buy you things. They'll cater to you. They'll treat you like a $1 million.
And that makes it okay.
And it's okay. Next thing you walk with new freaking Jordans, a nice outfit.
I am living the
Louis
broke
Vuitton.
fighter life.
And I heard that big girls are good at Wawas too, because that.
What's a Wawa? Tell us.
Wawa is
Oh,
yeah.
Huh.
a Wawa.
A Wawa.
never
A Wawa.
heard that. Is that
Because it hits the back of their throat.
Good
Wah,
gaka
wah, wah.
combo. You know?
Right.
You get it now.
I get. Yeah, it's
odd
comes
behavior.
together.
So,
Yeah.
getting back again to Geoff and
So how
his
big
fighting.
were they?
That's why people ask if I'm quiet. There's a
right?
fucking reason why. I can't even talk about a goddamn thing. So people, that's the reason why I'm quiet,
No,
because
no.
that little midget over there
wanna
always gives
know-
me shit.
We want to know how
don't.
big
I
you're talking.
enjoy the
320,
stories.
420?
What'd you say?
How big were these girls?
They were almost like not big as those girls in the picture, but they were pretty plumped.
Bigger than you?
No, back like I said, back in the day, dog. I mean, I was like, honestly, I was like 220, 225.
What was your max you hit? Like 320?
What's that? The big girls?
Yeah, what was your biggest takedown? We want to know about the hunting.
I think the biggest takedown I ever had was a girl that was probably 2 times bigger than me.
Well, that's like 400.
No, she was close to that.
440.
I would say
So that's 440.
no, not that big, not that big. I mean,
You just said
no, I mean no, when those,
Never been smaller than
no, I've never been with a girl that big with her ass cheeks spread out, looks like goo and shit. Hell no,
How do you know it's
Oh,
like peanut butter jelly sandwich. You know, when you spread those cheeks.
oh.
No, I've never been with a girl that big. I mean, probably the biggest was probably like I'd say maybe 250, maybe 300.
Where did you meet them at? Club Bubble?
No, it's just girls that catfished me on during the time was it when Instagram and no, it wasn't Instagram. I'm talking about
That's very recent.
MySpace.
I was going to say.
MySpace back. Remember MySpace back then, boys and girls?
No, I
Well,
was
the
not.
girls that used to have pictures used to take pictures of the selfies that were like here and up.
Yep.
And so like, oh, you're pretty, you're cute.
It's all about the angle.
And so it's all about the angle. So you meet the girl and you're like, oh,
You missed
and
4
it's
feet
like
of your
Friday.
angle.
It's like you don't look like Janet Jackson, you look more like Freddie Jackson. Ever come back here again?
Ever.
Goddamn, like that. I mean, no, that was that happened to me plenty of times. Believe me, because back in the day I was a sexy motherfucker. I was fast hands and I was a beast back then.
Yeah. Tortito or tortilla.
I was Chico Ortiz.
Tortito.
Tortito.
Tortilla
Tortilla.
chips.
It was a torpedo Ortiz. I guess.
Love ever.
But honestly, I got catfish by a lot of big girls, and I always showed love.
Catfish?
Fucking tortilla Ortiz.
And a lot of big girls.
The big girls
No,
called Joey Tortilla Ortiz.
No, because
back
they'll
in the day.
fake the funk, and I meet them like, oh, hey, and I feel bad. I'm not gonna say kick the curb. Let's go out and have a good
He's a
time.
very sentimental guy. He cries a lot.
No, I mean, I'm not all big girls. I went and fucking screwed. I mean, a lot of them I just had like dinner with. We had some drinks and had a
Of
good
course,
time.
you had dinner with them.
Buffet.
I mean, at least with
you at Morongo?
at least with a
$25.
big girl, they don't eat a salad. They eat with you, and I love that. That's a good thing about a big girl. They keep up with you because I mean, some girls that are all dainty and I'll just take this one little.
I'll get the salad.
That's it. But that was back in the day, when I was like, I love to eat. She loves to eat. Let's make it happen.
So
But-
would you say that contributed to your weight gain?
No, at the time I wasn't because I was working out about 5 hours a day.
You're working out 10 hours.
5 hours a
10
day,
hours.
Monday through
Holy
Friday.
shit.
Saturday I used to spar. Sunday was my rest day. 5 hours, and I was back to gym. No, 5 hours a day in the damn boxing
I
gym.
call bull.
You motherfucker. I'm done.
I don't know what videotapes you were
I'm just
watching.
gonna get your ass up here.
They didn't even have 5-hour
Get your ass up
videotapes.
here.
Didn't you?
They didn't have 5-hour
I'm
videotapes.
done.
Joey's making a segment
He's sweating.
to show off.
He tortured Sean and then he ran off of the camera.
Gym crashers.
There's the microphone for you, Joe. Don't sit on it.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
This guy.
Jersey.
It's a fun time.
All the name calling. I've
This
never
has been a
cussed at
fun
him. I've
show
never
today.
called him a name, but
This
he
has been a
calls me
fun,
stuff all the
interesting
time.
show today.
It's quite amazing.
All right.
Nice jersey. I love that jersey.
I
Robert,
think
if you want to bring up the UFC.
I-
Oh, that's yours?
we
This
got-
is
the gym crasher
This is
one,
the
right?
Los Angeles Crashers jersey you can get.
Ooh, I'm gonna
at,
get
if
one
you
of
want to
those.
say the link, Dondo.
Can't get it.
Oh,
Those are custom.
These are exclusive.
these are never mine.
For
This
the
is custom
homies.
only.
Hey, you tried.
What does
I
it say on the
tried.
back?
I
Turn
slipped.
around. Show us your backside.
Well,
Easy now.
I should not go over the table. But
Youngblood. 01.
okay.
What's 01? Is that the
Youngblood.
year you're born? You're 19?
That's how much he weighs.
one? Oh no, that's just my lucky number.
Number 1?
Day I was born.
Oh.
September 1st,
The first
1999.
day you were
Yeah.
the number one day.
First of the month. Yeah.
When he met that girl he was talking about, he gave her the 1. And his dad found out.
I knew you would say something
He's all,
about that one.
Dad, I gave her the steak figure. He's all, son, did you clean it? Did you clean it, son? Before you touch the falafel, did you clean it?
Surprisingly, my dad does not have an accent because
Oh.
he's been here since 16.
I like
but
that.
you know,
Don't touch the falafel till you clean that
he's from
finger.
Iran, Tehran.
Yeah.
Tehran. Yeah, came here when he was 16
I
on
kill
4th
you.
of July.
Yes.
Have you-
Wash your
of
finger.
course. Have you been?
No, I have not. I want to someday, but right now is not a good time to
No,
go
you
at
will
all.
not return, I don't think. You're too
I
American.
definitely won't. I will not return.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys
not
like
that
you.
attitude. Have you been anywhere in the Middle East?
No, I
That's
haven't.
funny.
He's been,
I
he's
want
been in
to.
the middle of
I
California.
really want to.
He'll come
Yeah,
back
you gotta
looking
go.
like
I've
Santa
been to,
Claus.
like Mexico
a
and
big
the
ass
Dominican
beard.
Republic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I was in Jordan last year, and that was really interesting. That was a cool little
Did you
country.
go to
That's
Petra?
amazing.
What's that? No, actually, it's just really expensive. It's like a ticket's like
You go to
$350.
Jordan and you don't go to Petra?
I know we wanted
It's a
to,
little
but
odd.
yeah, but you don't know how. Did you ever look into a
Get
ticket?
in a camel and ride there.
Yeah, no, they'll kick you out. It's
Jordanians are an
it's-
interesting
They
people.
need that because that's like their tourist staple.
That's
They're-
the number
yeah.
one thing to
Yeah,
see, right?
so, like,
it's
So
like
what did you do in Jordan then?
Well, we wanted to do the Petra, but then we ended up just eating some food. We just came off of we were in Israel before we were there, and
We're
it was
pretty close.
Yeah, it was just kind of, and then it's just the whole going through one border to another border, like going from Israel to a Middle Eastern country. It's just they're so nerve
Going
wracking.
from a Jewish country to a
Oh,
Muslim
it's-
country is very difficult because
Yeah,
they're not supposed to cross, or they
Yeah.
don't
So,
even
like,
fly into each other.
Exactly. So you have to take a bus or cross on your own 2 feet. But what you do is when you go into Israel, if you're American, they give you a piece of paper and they don't stamp your passport. They just give you a piece. They stamp
Why is
a piece
that?
because if you go into Jordan with the Israel stamp, they won't let you in.
Oh,
You know
so you don't get barred.
exactly. So that's what you have. The
That
option.
region, there, everybody's not really too cool with everyone, so
Right.
you got to
But
be careful how you
a
maneuver.
beautiful
no,
country- a
beautiful.
beautiful-
Is gas really cheap?
Everything's cheap over
Right?
there.
Could you
Actually,
imagine?
Jordan is not cheap because they've been taking in a lot of the Syrians refugees, and other countries aren't taking them in. So what they do is they inflate. Like Jordan, you can spend American cash.
Wow.
Like or a Jordan, $1 is,
Yeah.
is powerful. It's not like other Middle Eastern countries.
No, Lebanon's sinking right now because of the coronavirus. There's a lot of bad things
The
going on.
explosion, a lot of
it's
things
so
going on.
crazy
right
stuff.
now.
It's so sad.
So
Very-
close,
very
right? I hear
tough, very
terrible things.
tough.
They don't talk about it enough.
No,
not
definitely
that
not.
kind of
There's a
show.
lot of
I'm
things
sorry.
that go on in the Middle East that people don't know. But also, along with the Middle East, I will say, to get back to MMA, a lot of great fighters who are going to come out of that region.
Are
I'm
there
telling you.
Iranian fighters that are coming up?
Actually, one championship just signed multiple Iranian fighters. I believe they have one of my favorite guys out of the group. They just signed Ali Matamed, very tough striker, very fun skill set. I believe his name is Ali. Abu Bakar. I don't quite remember his last name. I remember the first name.
You did that good.
World champion wrestler.
You
They
have a
just signed
command of
him.
the language.
No, not even. But
Joey would have called him something
yeah,
different.
no, a lot of good wrestlers. One championship just signed 4 really good fighters from Iran.
That's awesome.
And more. Yeah. All right. To kick off this amazing
This is the
card.
bloody mess of a segment. What do we call it again? The
Young
bloody
Blood's
breakdown.
Bloody Breakdown.
Young Blood's
All
bloody
right.
breakdown.
And to kick off this amazing UFC 253. Sorry, we've been blasting through cards coming up on a lot of them. It's hard to keep up with all of them. And the name is it because we're going from Fight Night's cards, but 251, a fight I've been waiting
I wanna know
years
Jeff's
to
opinion.
watch.
Yes.
Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa.
That's a
An
big one.
exciting card, stacked with talent. And we're starting off the night on the main card with Hakeem Dawodu versus Zubara. Let me try this. Tuk Hugov.
I'm going to have to go with him.
I'm going to go personally on this fight. Hakeem's good. He's a good striker. Works a lot in the clinch. Decent ground game. Can keep up with him.
He's 19 and what? I can't see that stat. 19-4?
Yeah, 19 and 4.
Zubera
Yeah,
is
I'll go with him.
19-4-1. Hakeem
Adam's afro was in the
Dawodu
way.
is 11-1-1.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would go with him, the Russian. I'm assuming Russian, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
he
with
looks like
Zubara
Russian,
because
yeah.
he's been in the UFC longer. Hakeem's a newcomer to the UFC, coming off a really good performance. Like I said, very
fight?
heavy. He fought. He just fought. He fought Julio Arce.
Okay.
And then before that, he had Yoshinori Hori.
By decision.
Yeah, one by decision, then one by TKO. And like I said, his style is more. I believe he is. Sorry, guys, got to
You're
keep
good,
coming
yeah.
back to the things.
No, you're fine.
He's 5'7", with 73.5 inches of reach, going against Zubara Tukov, who has a 68-inch reach. Now, this reminds me of a fight I watched
Same
with
age.
Zubara. Where he fought a very similar style fighter. I can't quite remember the fighter's name, but with at least a very similar build of same height, but that same 73.5 inch reach. And what was interesting when I was watching that fight, because Zubara, he's one of these Russian guys that Khabib had brought over.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's worked with Khabib a lot. He has it's interesting. His striking stance is very kind of sideways karate style with his footwork, but he mostly kind of keeps it to a boxing kind of style fight where he's throwing punches, he's trying to get in the clinch, but he's not coming to knock you out. He's coming to wrestle you down, Zubara's wrestling is solid. He holds you down. He holds heavy position. He's trying to grind it out and take you down and just keep the fight on the ground and pound you out. Personally, I'm going to go with Zubara on this one just because Hakeem, he's newer. Granted, he's coming off with a lot of momentum. He's a young, hungry fighter. He's new to the UFC. He wants to make his name. But Zubara has been in there with some solid competition and has proven himself and then trains with Khabib. That's another level of wrestling coming out of the region he's coming out of.
And it's hard to train against somebody who trains with him.
It's really hard, especially that style, that same like Dagestani or Russian wrestling style where they hold you down. It's handcuffs. It's the entrapment of limbs. It's that style, and
it wears on you.
Yeah,
it wears on
you.
you.
He will get a little wild. I will say he will eat some shots to walk you down, to get that takedown, to get you up against the cage, which is where Hakeem could find success using his range. But I'm gonna go with Zubara on this one. I think he's gonna grind it out. What about you, Dondo?
Tukugov.
Name Tukhugov or Tukhugov?
Tukugov.
Hugov, as we say.
Going with the Russian.
And then on to a very exciting women's bantamweight fight: Sujara Sarge in charge Eubanks versus Ketlin Vera. Now, when I was looking at Ketlin Vera's tape, I'm shocked we don't talk about her in the bantamweight division more.
I agree.
She's a very good fighter. Actually, when you look at her background, she has probably one of the highest wrestling and judo backgrounds in the bantamweight division right now. At least one of the most successful. Like, I was watching her breakdowns of her in MMA. She has some of the best judo within MMA. I'm not talking about judo like as a sport itself, but just MMA judo. You know, as we say, grappling, bringing in MMA grappling. She has some of the best judo I've seen, honestly. Like, it's on level with...
I'd like to see that more.
I would say...
I think that it's effective, but you've got to become a high-level judoka and then, be able to integrate that into MMA.
Oh, she definitely is very high level. Like,
Ronda did it, but she didn't have the hands that she needed,
She didn't. Well, that's the thing. Here's the
Kayla
problem.
Harrison, I'm excited to see what happens with her.
Yeah. Here's the problem with Ketlin Vera, though.
Tell me about Ketlin Vera.
As great as a grappler as she is, she likes to brawl. It's that same like grappling style. Once they learn a little bit of striking, I'm going to eat a few to try and deliver some hard ones, but I'm going to take you down eventually. And then I believe in the Irene Aldana fight actually is where she actually got caught trying to keep up, use
to
that
mix it up.
brawling style,
Yeah, that doesn't
trying to
always
just
work.
power through, which it works for I think it works for grapplers who are first starting out in MMA.
I think it works to
when they're
set up
coming
your
up.
grappling. But
It
don't
works-
try to use it to
yeah.
be dominant.
But it's not going to win you the fight. It's not going to win you standing in the exchanges.
It's like when Gaethje said it the best. Justin Gaethje. He said that sometimes you're in there and you're having too much fun.
Yeah,
and that's what it comes down to.
It's
Especially with
honestly,
brawling.
Caitlin Vera can have when you brawl
I'm
and
going
you
to go
have
with
that style.
Sarge,
You can
dude.
go
I
with
want
2 months.
Sarge to win this.
Is that her?
Honestly,
Yeah, Sijara.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Caitlin actually, because I'll get to why. It's not that Sarge can't win this
I
fight.
want Sarge to win.
Sarge has been
I'm a
really
fan.
active this year.
Yep.
Sarge has been really, really active.
She earned it.
But she's also,
She's the underdog in the fight, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for
She's had, she won her last fight against Julia Avila. Again, won another decision against Sarah Moraes. And then before that, she's had a lot of decision fights. So we know she can go all around. We know her cardio is going to keep up. BJJ black belt. So obviously she's not going to be lost on the ground. But like I said, Sarge a little bit like she's coming into her own striking. I will say, like she's willing to try stuff. We saw with her head kick KO on the Tough series how she kind of threw it up with like hoping for the best, but hey, landed and knocked the chick out, and won her a contract. But you see that similar style of like where she gets a little wild within her striking, or
A flurry.
or that
She
gap.
throws a flurry.
She throws a flurry, and she has to. She's a shorter fighter for the weight class.
But it's
she
not
has to get on the inside to get you down, to grind it out, get you and show her strengths. Granted, I feel like she might come out and get a little too happy with her hands, trying to go for the knockout to prove like, oh, I got knockout power. She's been saying, I want to finish, and that kind
That's
of
what she needs to do when you're going the distance. You got to
That's
focus on
true.
that finish. So I'm okay with that.
that's true. But that also can worry me. Is
I'm
this?
betting you
Are you going to
Taco
get away
Bell.
from what's making you successful?
We're betting Taco Bell, homeboy.
Ben
What's the
tacos?
stakes?
Before it's got to be the Mexican pizza because they're eliminating it,
True story.
right?
Well,
and you
all
can
right.
afford that. So Mexican
All right.
pizza.
I'm
it
gonna
is.
go Caitlin Vera on this one.
I'm
I
going
personally
Sarge.
think she's gonna go. I think she's the better
It's
talent.
going to be
I think she's
Mexican
gonna
pizzas
win.
here on Gym Crash.
But it's gonna be a great grappling match of I think jiu-jitsu versus judo.
I'm going to see who can
Yeah.
eat more Mexican pizzas, you or Joey.
All right, Jeff, what do you think on this fight?
I'm gonna go with the underdog in this one just to see.
Sarge.
Sarge in charge. Sarge in
Sarge
charge.
in charge.
Hey, like I said, she's had momentum, especially going for that third one in 2020.
I want to see
She's
what
coming off a loss or she's coming off a win?
No, coming off
Coming
two
off a win.
decision
Oh,
wins.
2
Actually
decision
on a
wins,
win
that's
streak.
That's good for her.
Coming off some
She's got
good
momentum,
wins.
homeboy.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Yeah, a lot of decisions though.
Kaikara France.
All right. This is a very exciting fight. A very interesting matchup, actually. Brandon Royville, who has had only one fight in the UFC, fighting at flyweight, has been handed in one fight, in just 2 fights, no favors, and is already fighting, I believe. I don't know the exact ranking of Kai Kara France. He's
But
either
a
top 5 or
level
top,
fighter.
he's either about to break into that top 5 or he's
Yep.
right, like he's already in it. But Kai Kara
But he's a name.
France.
He's getting a name, and he
Kai
did
Kara
it
France,
quick.
in my opinion, is the future flyweight champion.
But
I
Brandon
think he has the
Royval.
chance. But
Brandon Royval.
Oh,
I'm going with Brandon
Robert,
Royval.
Robert shitting on my decision here to go with Kai Kara France for this
just
fight.
poo-pooed you.
Literally.
What
As
is-
long as Alex Perez is in the UFC, Kai Kara France will never be champion.
Alex Perez is a phenom.
This is very tough. I take this back. I completely forgot Alex Perez was a flyweight.
Yes.
Never mind.
Badass flyweight.
Kai may need some time, but that will be an exciting title fight when they finally fight for the title. Because there's no way that fight's going to happen. Alex Perez and Kai Kara France. That's going to be an exciting one. But getting back to this current fight of Kai Kara France versus Brandon Royville.
I say
Brandon
Royval.
Royville is actually a really good fighter. He's a very solid,
He got there for a
very
reason.
solid
Where's he coming
grappler.
What promotion?
Colorado, I think. He was,
Mile
I've
High?
seen him with.
No, like you said, it's his first UFC fight, right?
No.
Oh,
second.
second.
His first UFC fight was Tim Elliott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Tim Elliott was winning that fight, I believe. Or no, it didn't fin it. We didn't. No, Tim wasn't winning that fight, but it was a competitive fight. It was a competitive fight. But Brandon caught Tim.
Where did he train out of, though? Was it Mile High, did you say?
No, actually, I'm sorry.
Royval?
Brandon Royval might be with
I know he's trained with
Reinhardt and all those
Alexander Hernandez. I've seen him train with Alexander Hernandez, I'm pretty
And
sure.
what promotion did he come from prior to UFC?
But if you want to give me the...
champ for somebody.
I don't
He had
quite
a belt.
know.
He had a belt
He
for
did have a
another
belt.
promotion?
He did coming off a belt.
He either had LFA
Probably LFA, yeah.
I believe so.
I'm taking Royval, and I'm not even going to bet you Mexican pizzas.
I'm taking Kai Kara France because Kai is an incredible striker, coming to take off your head, coming to knock your ass out
What do you
when
think,
he
Joe?
goes steps in that cage.
Joseph?
And coming off of City Kickboxing, where they spent and lived in the gym.
That makes a difference.
Badass camp.
With Israel on the same camp and Brad Rydell.
Adesanya's camp? Is that where he's from?
City Kickboxing.
Yeah.
They trained together.
I didn't realize that.
They trained together the entire time.
It's good to have you here. You're a good factoid kind of person.
I'm an encyclopedia of MMA, Don.
What about you, Geoff?
Ooh, I like that one. That's a good name. I'll go with Royval. Why not? Just see what happens.
Am I the
You
only
go
one
with
going
Royval? I
Kai?
like
Yeah,
it.
why not?
Am I the
Yeah.
only
Maybe you
one
come
going
back
Kai?
next week and hang out with us and eat some Mexican pizzas. I'll
Sounds
buy you
like
one.
it.
Maybe.
I don't know on this one. I think Kai Kara's too much on the feet.
Kai Karma's definitely too much on the feet.
He's good everywhere else.
Royval's a very, very well-rounded fighter, but his highlight definitely is his grappling.
Yeah.
He has a good amount
He
of
already
submissions.
displayed that with his
I don't know if he,
debut.
I don't know if he can get Kai Kara France to the ground. That's the problem. For Royval.
I know that's the
gonna be a
tough
problem.
part. That's going to be interesting.
That's gonna
It's
be a very
if this
interesting
fight
point.
stays standing, it's Kai's fight all day because Kai has knockout power. For a flyweight, he has serious dogs in his hands.
I gotta lean towards Kai Kara France in this one. Royval doesn't have enough in the.
It's not that it's not that Royval can't win this fight. It's that you got to think of the guy they matched him up with just one fight in, or two fights
What are
into
we
the
betting on
UFC,
this one since
you know?
everybody's going one way?
We betting anything interesting on this one?
Japanese curry, it's on.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going Curry on this one. All right.
He's pretty right after this.
All right. So
You just ate
we
pizza
got two
spaghetti.
Kais and two Royvals for this one.
3 hours later. Where's your favorite Japanese curry place in California?
Actually, I don't fuck with it like that. My girlfriend sends me stuff from Japan. I get boxes of curry. I eat my own.
Is it hot?
Yeah, there's spicy stuff. Yeah, there's different flavors. I like the black curry is my favorite.
Oh,
All right.
we like it black here too.
All right. And then moving on to this very, very exciting co-main event. Another card with two title fights on this.
I think this could be
Of
fight of the night.
Dominic. Oh, I definitely think this could be fight of the
I'm
night.
going with
If the
Dominic
main
Reyes.
event is
Yeah,
not
yeah,
fight of the
yeah.
night, this is the fight of the
This
night.
could be it.
Dominic, all the
Dominic
way.
Reyes versus Jan Blachowicz, who, like I said, trained with a guy who's trained at my gym, Matt Horowitz, who Jan Blachowicz actually, surprisingly, for a guy who's more known for his kickboxing and that technical striking style, I believe holds the record for the highest takedown defense percentage in the UFC light heavyweight division currently.
Wow.
Even when John Jones was champion, his
26
takedown defense percentage
and
was
8.
higher than John.
Look at his fight record. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a
He's
lot.
fought
a lot
everyone.
of miles, dude.
If you look at his
Wow.
record, he's fought every
I'm going with
a lot
Dominic
of
Reyes.
big names.
Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, I think he wants it a little bit more.
I'm gonna go with Dominic Reyes just because physically, I think he's just
He's a beast.
Dominic Reyes on another level of
Reyes, I think
athleticism.
Reyes
Beast.
got this one.
And then on top of it too, he almost beat John Jones. We haven't seen that in a long. He
That's
brought
true. That
a
is a
fight
He brought it.
fact.
to John Jones. Like I was nervous.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely biased being a hardcore John Jones fan, so I was like, yeah, he win it. But even I was just like, oh, how did he win it? Like, I don't even.
Being a John
honestly
Jones
don't
fan is
know.
like being a Houston Astros
Is that
fan.
a tie yet, or is that no decision?
There
no,
he is.
It's all good. Yeah.
Still in the air?
It's on the air. Come on in.
On the air. Mr. De La, we're making picks.
It's De La. Oh, call him
Or
De
De
La.
La.
He's gonna throw you down the
De La.
stairs.
Yeah. What's your opinion on the co-main event?
What's your pick, John? Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz.
Blachowicz.
Blow this is what he's gonna say.
No, you know what? I'll tell you what. I know enough about the fight game to know that you cannot honestly pick a fight. You cannot honestly say, put your money on this guy. This guy, I'm gonna weigh his pros against his cons and vice versa. No, you don't know. It's a fight. Now, when someone is hideously outmatched, like poor Paulo Costa there, yeah, well then you can make the call.
I don't know.
But
I don't know.
yeah, trust me, right? Israel.
I mean, I fully agree with John's opinion here,
Yeah,
but
he's not saying.
That's because you fear
not
him.
true.
Israel. I'm too slow to get across this room. But no, you know what? But yeah, I don't like to pick fights. Well, I mean, I pick fights with people, but I don't like to bet on fights because it really is.
Anything can happen.
You'll get lucky if you were really good and if you really had skills, you'd be rich because you'd be betting them in Vegas. So I'm just gonna say Israel Adesanya, second round knockout, Paulo Filo.
This is a man who doesn't even watch fights anymore.
Philo retired a while ago.
Oh, whatever the hell his name is, Paulo Costa.
The guy beat up once.
John proving why my segment is BS and how wrong I've been.
Don't listen. He'll discourage you till you die. Hey, for years I watched people go to John De La Hoya saying, "Sir, can I fight?" He said, "Sure. Put your head up your ass and fight for air." I am not kidding you.
Yeah.
Fighter after fighter after fighter until you were ready, he would tell you. But as soon as you asked, "Oh yeah, you can fight all you want. Put your head up your ass and fight for air." Heard it 1,000 times.
That's funny.
It's hilarious.
And it's for real.
Funny.
That's the best. That's like
That was
my
the
coach
bald
Adam
man that
Lynn.
just
He
left
just
the
responds
building.
with how many years it'll take. He's like, "Can I fight in this time?" Yeah, and then he doubles the amount of time you asked. Like,
And he goes, get your ass back in the cage.
Get your ass back in the cage is right.
yeah, right. But for this co-main event, let's divvy up the room. I'm going Dominic Reyes because personally, I think he's really developing.
Dominic, come on.
He's
I
super
want Reyes to win.
motivated.
He's motivated.
It's not like I said. It's not that Yan can't win this fight again,
Jan,
but Dominic Reyes is just—he's another talent. He's another
Yeah.
type of athlete.
we
you
talked
know?
about this. You're right.
Yan's a hard worker, but Dominic Reyes is just talented, and like I said, brought a fight to John Jones,
Yeah,
the
same.
greatest fighter of all time. Like,
Wouldn't
brought
that be
the fight to
amazing
him.
if you were wrong and John De La Hoya pulled the rabbit out of a hat and
Oh
said
my
you could
God.
never pick a fight? We're going to have to go back over this one next week. And if John De La Hoya's right, we're going to owe him dinner.
Oh yeah,
He only eats Korean barbecue, so it's $10.
The thing with mixed martial arts, statistically, if it's
MMA
it's
math
hard-
doesn't add up.
Yeah, not just that. Statistically, it's a 70-30.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to bet on MMA and win because it's a 70-30 overall. Like 70% of the time, there's 30% upset by statistics in the long run, and that's bad odds.
Very,
like
very
it, yeah.
statistical guy.
That's kind of bad odds. I mean, that's really
This is
hard.
the Japanese.
No, it's definitely bad.
It's not like
yeah.
football and basketball and baseball. Like the odds are a little bit more on the favorites.
No, to definitely give our viewers a little bit behind the scenes, I've definitely, in terms of calling fights, yeah, I'll be right and research it, but I've been probably wrong more than I've been right. Like,
No, but you're very
but my
statistical as well,
analysis-
and you call it very well, and you're
no,
descriptive,
yeah,
and,
it's
and
fair.
I like it.
I'm fair. I'm not gonna ever be like, like
I go with
100.
my heart.
Anything
you
can
go with
happen.
statistics. I respect that.
Yeah.
Robert's very statistical too.
I don't know, but I got to go with my heart on this one because I mean his brother's a friend of ours, so
Wait, who are you
Alex
going on
Reyes.
this one?
Alex Reyes. I got to go with the
Alex
Dominic
Reyes is a homie, dude.
Alex Reyes is a good human being.
He
Good
is.
person. His
Like I said,
family's
He
cool.
runs a tight
Like,
gym, and they
all-
really care about people.
Yeah, I've been to his out to his dojo like a few times, and I
Victorville.
Oh
filmed
yeah,
with
no,
them.
they're
so,
they're very great. Like,
They're good
I remember
people,
when they were for like some of the promos for Dominic Reyes' fight against John
They're
Jones
so
and stuff,
good,
and watching
man.
it, they
I
showed
like
they
them.
actually showed him and his brother's relationship and how much they coach and how much his brother does for like the community and all that. And it was just
That's
amazing.
big.
It was
That means
amazing to
a
see.
lot.
Dominic Reyes is a hard guy to not root for. Like I was. Even though, like I said, I'm a big John Jones fan, when he didn't win the title, even I was a little bit bummed hearing him. I'm like, oh man, I hope this guy gets another shot, which he's young, he is, and he's getting it now, which by Saturday, I'm forgetting what day it is.
Yeah, right.
All these
Very
COVID times
excited
and days
over
are just
here.
passing. I'm just excited to see this fight card. I just wanted to be here. But come Saturday, he's going to be light heavyweight champion of the world. It's just...
I hope so too. And I think with Alexander is that dude got his career put on halt, and he's also a UFC fighter. He's also hasn't lost one in there. He just got a bad injury. Then he had a stem cell treatment that went wrong and made him sick, and they can't figure out how to clear
the
him for
tough
that.
part
So
of fighting.
he doesn't know if he'll ever return. But that guy, I mean, his story is pretty amazing too. Like
Both of them.
both of them could be. I mean, he could be side by side pushing for a title too if he didn't have
Oh,
that
That's a
injury.
fact.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
It's a terrible story. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Moving on to the
He's-
main event. Israel
Moving on.
Adesanya.
This would be fun.
I have been waiting for this fight for so long. I've been an Israel fan since he's gotten into the UFC, and I remember when these guys were calling him out even before they were both names. Like, I was just like, oh, that's going to be a good one. And then as he's seeing Paulo Costa evolve as a fighter and then seeing his style of fight, which is, I'm going to come at you and try and knock your head off.
Yep. There's
and
no
like,
stopping him.
just destroy you because
don't
I'm
use their
built like a brick
nicknames.
shithouse.
Why don't they use their nicknames more? You know what I mean? I like it when people have nicknames.
Paulo the Eraser Costa.
Yeah,
Is that
I
his
like
nickname,
that.
Eraser? That's
The
cool.
Eraser. Israel Stylebender out of
The
Sonya.
Style Bender. That's such a cool name, right?
Stylebender.
That's pretty
Oh,
cool.
They
yeah.
just don't put that. I wish they'd put him up on there.
I don't know.
I think it grows more fan base.
It definitely helps. I would say having a nickname definitely helps in terms of marketing yourself.
But both are great fighters. I just think Israel's on a different planet.
Well, here's the thing. If you go back, and I was watching the Paulo Costa fight versus Yoel Romero, like recently rewatching it, and an interesting thing that if you notice, it's Yoel's best moments in that fight was when he was having Paulo run at him like he does, and he would counterpunch him.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and he had success.
He did a lot.
That was back and forth, back and forth. There was knockdowns on both sides. I will say, if this fight goes to the ground, it won't go to the ground. But if it does, it's going to be Paulo's fight all day.
70-30,
all
maybe
day.
it'll go
Paulo,
to the
we
ground.
haven't
All
seen.
day.
Joey's nodding, like, no.
He's gonna.
But
Joey's never been on the ground. If he
nobody
did, he wouldn't get up.
realizes how good Paulo's ground game actually is. He's a BJJ black belt, you know.
Turtle.
And then if you look at when Yoel was trying to take him down in that fight, he literally was so strong. He just shrugged off his takedown and just like, nah, young man, sit your ass down. Like, Paulo's strong. He has strong takedown defense. His grappling's a lot better than he lets on. But he's obsessed with coming at you and getting that knockout. He wants the highlight reel. He wants to hurt Izzy. He wants to put a whooping on Izzy. He wants to come after him and knock him out. But I think he's going to get a little too over-aggressive. And Israel has just incredible footwork.
Joey's on fire.
Joey's so mad
His
at
eyes
this
are
as this
steaming and they're
promo.
normally like shut.
Too much.
Who, Joey?
It's
Joey,
true.
Joey wants to say something about this.
Tell us about Paulo Costa. You knew him back in the day, dog, when he had yellow hair at 220.
No, you talking about that fucking fight, right? That dude almost beat his ass regardless. I mean, you gotta realize Israel is gonna take him out because he's a lot more leaner, he's a lot quicker. Because when you talk the fight you're talking about when he fought against
Yoel?
yeah. Dude, he almost got took it out, man.
Cuban guy.
Many times
Are
he
you
got hit,
talking
he was
about,
wobbling, he was fucking, he
Yoel?
was done.
That's what I'm saying.
And the problem is now he's gonna go against a guy named Israel. It's over. I mean, this
That's
Israel
what
guy's
I'm
gonna
saying.
knock the shit out of him and done deal. Good night,
But the
fucking
style
sweet prince.
benders-
If you would have let me make my point about Israel's
Oh,
footwork
I'm sorry.
here.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Cut him off.
If you cut me off, I was going to say, Paulo runs at you. He's
Why
a
are you
rushing
always
forward
cussing
type
at
of style.
people that
You
are
know,
on the
he's not
show?
going to cut
Always.
angles to try and get you.
Fucking
Israel's
asshole,
whole
dick.
style is fighting from you from
The
different
language.
angles.
Sorry.
You know, from different angles. And so, and if you look at, like, I've watched a lot of Israel's fights, and I've watched a lot of his setups.
All of them.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
know. We all
of them.
have.
Probably all of them. But you look at the Brad Riddell fight is a great example. Brad Riddell's an experienced fighter and an experienced, you know, he's a well-rounded guy. But you look at the setups, he was leading him on to so many different things. Like, and I remember I was watching Israel's live one time where he was personally breaking down his fight, and he went in depth on what his setups are. And what you don't realize, his game and the way he's thinking and when he's setting up these knockouts and these strikes and his footwork is so advanced than we realize. There's a reason he's on another level. There's a reason he's all right grappling. You know, I'm sure he can hold his own. We haven't seen him too much. We've seen him stuff some takedowns, go for some Imanari rolls, throwing it back. But he doesn't really need it to be that good because his footwork is so good. He controls the fight where he goes with footwork. And so I think he's going to set up Paulo. Paulo's going to come in rushing and catch him right dead on.
In comparison to previous fighters, champs, what would you compare Israel Adesanya to? If you were to compare him to anybody that existed before in UFC?
No one.
No one? Just he's kind of a...
I mean,
an
you could make
original?
the argument of, like, you know, like every skinny striker, Anderson Silva, MVP.
But
I was gonna say that's the only person I could think of as MVP.
You could make the argument MVP, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that separates Israel. Yeah, I would say he's closest to Anderson because he had that same style. If you look at Anderson, it was all footwork, setup, tech.
It was a cancellation, you know, when they faced off.
cancellations.
Yeah.
But Israel's more of what he represents, that style in New Age MMA of what it is now.
Yeah.
You know,
And
you
it's a
can't
different
just be like, you know, you can't be a specialist like and get away with it for long enough to keep your title reign. You know, you can get there to a title shot being a specialist.
People figure it
Even
out.
still, they figure it out. But you're not going to be able to keep it going if you're not evolving. You're going to be presented with new problems. And every time
Has
we've
the
seen
coaching
Israel,
evolved, or has it been the athletes?
And
Is it both of it?
It's both, and that's the one X factor that Paulo Costa has. His coaching staff now. He's got Rafael Cordero holding. I mean,
Coach Captain America,
and then-
Eric.
yeah, and Eric
Alice-
Little
Harold-
weird glasses
yeah.
guy.
That's a cool name.
I heard
Captain America.
Cejudo. I heard Cejudo and other guys were helping Paul Acosta with wrestling on this one too.
That's a big deal.
That's a big
Like,
deal.
yeah, that's
Cejudo's
a big
the-
deal.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
if this fight goes to the ground, I'm not. I just haven't seen enough from Israel.
just don't
but
think-
like I said, here's the thing that separates me from that makes Israel different than what I'm saying. All the other champs and what you were saying before. To answer that, getting back to your original question,
I just want to know. Don't get all
every
butthurt.
time he's been challenged in like the way we think, like, oh man, this guy's gonna take him down. Oh man, he's gonna struggle here. Oh man, he's answered every question. We
But-
have yet to see that.
But it wasn't a surprise. The people he was preparing for that is supposed to take him down, like Yoel and all this, that was part of the game plan they knew of because that's what he's done before. And he
What
can
about
do.
KG?
Gastelum?
What about KG, where he was setting it up
Gastelum-
to be an exciting fight, where he fought that different style?
Yeah, but I mean,
That's a different.
I've
That's not his
never-
style.
I've never really even.
Even
I've
if you look
never
at his
really
kickboxing
liked
career.
KG, so
No,
like,
no.
I never
Kevin
thought-
Gastelum is not.
Yeah,
I don't even think he's in contention for.
I always thought Kevin Gastelum got lucky quite a
Exactly.
bit.
Exactly.
I thought there's a lot of skills that he really doesn't have. And
That
he
he
just
lacked.
kind of got over. And a lot of it is because KG's in the wrong weight class. I think.
He is.
I think
He's a 170.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
170
it's
all
wrong
day.
weight
But you know,
So,
he's such a physical freak. He makes it up middle.
yeah, that's true.
He's very physically
very
talented.
fast. He's
That's
fast.
the thing. Kevin Gastelum's physical gifts are not as highly rated as they should be. He's physically talented to be able to keep up with all these guys. And if you look at just the way he punches, the whip he produces using his body type is something incredible. But that's what also got him through. And you saw with, Jack Hermanson, even my coach brought it up, the practice of that. Like, where you're saying, like, you get lazy with certain things and that's how you got caught. KG can get lazy with certain things.
Yeah, he's cocky,
And he does.
He's cocky in real life, and he's cocky on inside, and his arrogance gets him in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he wasn't that bad on Ultimate Fighter.
No, he was really cool.
He
I
was
was a fan
more
at that
humble
time.
there, and all of
I
a
was
sudden,
a fan when he won
He
that.
started winning some shit, and then got to his head.
Living on his mom's couch in Yuma, Arizona. He was a humble dude, and
And
I
then-
don't know what happened.
Then he became a kind of a
Change.
prick.
That's the amazing part also too.
I agree.
If you look at Israel, is like for a guy who's had as fast as a rise as he is to a
Handle
title.
it well.
I don't think do you guys know anybody who's gone to a title as quickly as when they entered the UFC and
And
got
held it?
one
McGregor?
and held it?
Well, I guess not held it.
I don't know.
Held it.
I don't know
McGregor's
if it's
pretty
that
damn
far.
fast.
Right.
It was fast.
Like
it was fast.
It was a year and a half, right, or something.
Oh shit, you might be right.
McGregor's pretty fast.
Right, He's
McGregor-
definitely close. But I'm saying,
McGregor's a
here-
phenom. There's
Yeah.
nothing like
Yeah.
that ever going to happen again.
But like
was
Israel
quick.
wasn't known. But
Oh,
even
Israel's
when
fast, too.
Yeah,
I
when he
forgot. He got
got when
it.
he
It's-
got
it's
and
about
reached
the
this
same.
new level of fame, he didn't let any of it go. Like what I'm saying here. Here's what's different about
He was built
Israel.
for it.
He's gotten to the title. He's still there. He's at the thing, but he's still evolving.
Yeah,
That's the thing we see. We don't see champions evolve. When do we see champions evolve in terms of their games and their overall MMA game?
John Jones has.
Yeah.
He has. He has
To
a
a
lot.
safer one.
Cocaine helps that, though.
GSP, it's more like they turn to a
Even a
safer.
pictogram of cocaine will help.
Yeah, right.
But it's like they already had the tools that got them there and made them successful.
He had physical tools that.
What
helped
I'm
him.
saying is like Israel's still adding tools within grappling and
And he's not
within
done
stuff,
yet.
and he's not done.
What do you guys think of the Yoel Izzy fight?
Bad style matchup.
See, I think because of that fight is why I'm making the decision I'm going to make on this fight. Is the best way I can describe my decision.
I agree. That's the same thing I'm agreeing with. Paulo Costa has a chance, but it's not going to happen.
No, he's not.
Is he? And another thing is, I don't know what Paulo Costa is going to look like in the 4th and 5th. And I think
He
that's
can handle. He wants it so goddamn bad. He can handle it. He's not gonna give up in the 5th round. I mean, my personal opinion. I don't think he's gonna gas out. I don't think he's gonna get tired. I think he's either gonna get put. He's either gonna get put out or put to sleep. He will not leave that building until he has that belt around his waist.
I think
that's just because if you watch that Yoel fight, because the reason why I say this is because people are afraid of Yoel. They don't. Nobody wants to fight
He's a
Yoel.
freaking superhero.
Costa walked in Yoel's face and said "fuck you," and
Ran into
nobody
him.
does. Nobody does that.
I love that.
And it is what it is. And I think that attitude and that mindset and that he obviously it's not an easy fight. It's not an easy fight. It's not. He's got a lot of work cut out of him.
Yeah.
But to say that Costa can't beat him, that's not true.
Yeah.
Is it good? Is he going to use his reach? Yes, he is. Is he going to stay away from him? I think so. I don't think Izzy's going to play Costa's games because that's not a safe.
No.
Not that Izzy couldn't knock out Costa. It's just you just I don't know, man. That's
I sure hope
I
this
think the
new
wrong
team coaches will.
I think the wrong game plan for Costa is to try to knock him out. I think
No,
the best
he can't.
plan for him.
He's not gonna
is
knock him out.
If he's gonna burst,
he's
out
going to do it though. That's
he's-
that's going to be so exciting.
He's got to burst and clinch.
Yeah.
He's got to
He's gotta
employ the
jet him.
old GSP, put him up against the cage,
Yep.
work those muscles, get it all tired, and so his arms are slower, his legs are slower, and he's got to try to take him to the ground. He's got to
Well,
wrestle him.
Yeah.
But
He's
then
got
again,
it.
Adesanya's in a circle forever.
Forever.
Get out of the way.
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
gonna
The
wait till
footwork is
third,
too
fourth,
long.
And fifth, yeah.
Although
He's too long and this footwork is too fast. And
Adam's
then
in the big cage.
and the
Although-
only guy to ever knock out Israel Adesanya, I believe the only guy
kickboxing, right?
and yeah, in kickboxing, Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira is a motherfucker
Right.
in the world of kickboxing.
Listen to the
There is a
language.
reason he signed to ONE FC, and there's a reason he fought Nicky Holtzkin. You know, he's been, the only guy to knock him out was a striking phenom. And I love Paulo. Paulo's a great athlete.
Put the mask on.
Right, put your man. But Paulo's a great athlete. He's not Alex Pereira. You know, he's coming at you. He's throwing power punch, power punch, power punch. But that power punch
Look at
doesn't
Adam
let up.
flexing the muscles.
You know?
I like it with that jersey
Right.
on too.
Right?
He's such a mellow guy.
I know.
The hard part is
Israel gets me hyped. This is
Yeah.
how hyped I am for
So-
this fight, Dondo.
What you were saying about
COVID.
Israel evolving, I'm gonna play devil's advocate because
Let's play devil's advocate. I want all the devil's advocates.
I'm in Costa's corner right now. I want him to win. I want nothing against Izzy. I think Izzy's a great champion. I think he's had a.
But
great
you're going
legacy.
for the underdogs on this night.
Exactly.
I'm feeling an underdog theme, Geoff. You're going for the underdogs.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like underdog. Well, I'm from Michigan, so Detroit Lions. They
Underdog.
teach you to be an underdog fan. Like nobody loses better than we do. You know, and we've proved that.
I mean, the Raiders lose pretty well. What?
But that's
They
true.
won last
We
night.
won 2-0.
But I think what you were saying like I said, I think what you were saying about him being able to evolve, I think that it might be a reason why he might beat Costa because he has the ability. If Costa does go 100 miles an hour with him, I can see Israel saying, "Fuck it, I already know he's going to do it. I'm gonna beat him at his own game." I can see Izzy getting in a shootout with him and beating him, and I could see
would
it
like
being.
to see this.
I could see it being like a Ferguson Gaethje fight, where one guy is just going to get fucked up so bad that the refs are going to say, "Hey, you can't keep doing
You
this."
can't
I'd like to
'Cause
see
they're
this.
not going to give up. Izzy doesn't want to lose what he has.
Izzy
And I
looked
think-
across a man in an interim title fight and said, "You're not willing to die for this, and I am."
Exactly. That's true.
I like that.
That's true.
It's
Like,
going to be exciting, gentlemen.
if I don't know how
Where
to
are we
hype
getting
this site
together
up
on
more,
Saturday?
but
We're not.
who knows?
No gathering.
No gathering.
Oh, yeah,
So
I'll
let's
be with
go
Sean
across the
watching
room for
fights
one
with
last
Sean.
bit before we sign out. Israel,
I'm gonna go Costa.
We're going to Mexico.
Dondo,
I'm going with Paulo Costa because I'd like to see Israel lose.
Robert.
I want Paulo Costa to win, but I can't see it. I gotta
Yeah.
go with.
So Robert wants Paulo to win, but he can't see him winning.
I think everybody wants to see Costa. He works so goddamn hard.
I agree.
He works so hard. He deserves it. Nothing against Izzy. Nothing against Izzy at all. But
Nothing against him. I, like Adesanya,
I
but
personally
wanna
think
see
there's
Paulo
more
Costa.
exciting
And
fights for the middleweight division if Israel wins.
Right.
But like I said,
Yeah.
We'll come out of the closet after he wins.
And it'd be cool to see a Izzy Costa too.
That was
Or a
odd.
3, you know.
That would
It's
be
a
great.
matchup where it could be one loses, then they get the belt back, and then they lose. It could go
this
back.
could
and
be
forth.
one of the
Nobody
greatest
asked
middleweight
Joey what he
Costa
thinks.
should keep that belt and keep it for a while. He is such a motherfucker that he. Is,
It could go back and forth.
Yeah.
I definitely think this is one of the few title fights you're seeing where it's like top guy, the best guy in the division, and the best guy in the division, and we're gonna see who's the real number one.
Totally
It mi- it
different
might be
styles.
the fight of the year.
And
I would like to see it.
I
Definitely
don't know.
thinking
Ferguson got that one.
it potentially
Yeah,
could
the
be.
year started off
Gaethje
hot.
Ferguson fight. That's
Yeah.
the fight of the year.
Yeah, that's-
Weili
that's true,
Zhang
that's
versus Joanna. Anybody?
That's good, but I
was
mean,
good.
10th Planet. You know what I'm saying? You got to represent. I think Ferguson. That was it. If I had to choose what was fight of the year, it'd be that fight. You know, and it was hard to watch him lose. And it was hard to watch a guy lose when he didn't use his tools that we all. You know, we're a jiu-jitsu school, and you know, it's like awesome that he's he's part of 10th Planet, but it's like he didn't use no jiu-jitsu. He's a badass motherfucker to go out there and just say fuck you, and again, like what Koza's probably gonna do, and just try to like shoot out with people.
That's the tough part.
And it was so frustrating because it was bittersweet because I loved watch. I love it that he fights. I love that he's gotten as where he's at, but it's like he didn't use no jiu-jitsu. Like that's like he could, and I think he could have tapped him.
That's how Joey the Bull is. No jiu-jitsu. He's all hands.
All hands, but
Right, Joey?
more power to Ferguson.
Anyway, so
the boogeyman.
Adam, I understand you wanted to make a quick shout out before we end the show tonight.
right.
Look at you throwing it to Adam Araby. What a gentleman.
I know.
Adam with the white arms Araby.
Just make it 2 seconds, bro.
He's been
All
indoors
right.
all summer from COVID.
Shout out to Diana D Money Mendoza, who's fighting for Fearless Women on September 25th for their title.
D Money.
D Money.
D-Money.
A really cool person I've got to train with. Has seen my journey since I've started at Subfighter. Even taught me what I know about jiu-jitsu now. You know, help me form, help me out a lot.
What's the promotion that she's fighting for?
Fearless Women MMA.
Fearless Women, and where's
Fearless
that at?
Women
Is that
MMA.
in Dallas, Texas?
Mexico City.
Oh, Mexico.
Mexico. She was just in Big Bear elevation training right now. She's gonna go down there soon. I believe she has Free Love in her corner.
So
and then
she'll
Justin
actually do
Governal.
good. You know,
Actually, Justin Governal is making his return. Coming back to corner Diana.
I love it.
Coming
So
back
D
to
Money did something smart. She went to Big Bear to train for Mexico City, and Big Bear's full of smoke.
Oh, wow.
And Mexico City's full of smoke. So not only the elevation,
transition.
but the pollution level. She's
and
used
also
to.
friend of this show who also helped her out in her camp, Aaron Tohill.
Well,
And I've got to see Diana's progression in boxing and striking. I can tell you this, man.
Aaron Tohill's a savage.
Tohill.
Diana's last name?
Mendoza.
Aaron Tohill's
Diana Mendoza.
on a different level, and I just wish it was 10 years ago to just see what she
I
could do. You
know.
know what I mean? She just
But
an amazing
I can
person.
tell you, her as a trainer and seeing Diana striking evolve and just working with Aaron, major improvements.
Yeah.
Very
She's an
proven.
amazing girl.
She's a proven trainer. She's a proven trainer.
So, Adam, where can they find you on your social medias?
Adam.araby on Instagram. The Fight Life Connoisseurs on Instagram and YouTube.
Pump it. The Fight Life
And
Connoisseurs.
Jeff, where can they find you on your social medias?
Monsoon 10PHQ.
That's
There
at
it is.
Monsoon 10PHQ on Instagram. Anything on Facebook or Twitter or
No, just Instagram.
Joey's favorite, which is MySpace?
And
OnlyFans.
Dondo,
You got OnlyFans, right?
It's
Joey the Bull, you got to have one.
Dondo, where they can find you on your social medias?
John Dondo on Facebook and Dondo the Gym Crasher on Instagram. And Joey the Bull, how about you, my friend?
Oh, you can find me on every social media: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok,
That was fun. That's so much
Snapchat.
fun,
Yeah,
that.
all those crazy things. Check me out. Check out the show. That's what he's talking about right now. I
Diana.
mean, great, Diana. Right?
Badass.
Yeah, so let's make it happen. Once again, we'd like to thank our guest Jeff to be on the show again. This has been
Thanks
the
for
Gym
having me.
Crashers. We'd like to everybody wish you a good night. And please, if you want to watch the show again, check out our website, gymcrashers.com. Once again, gymcrashers.com. You can see a repeat after this show is done. Check out the gear, check out the merchandise. And our live CBD, once again, is in the house. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Like us,
Thank you, guys.
subscribe to us, and share the link. Thank you, Joe.
Legend?
Yeah, she was at our little club there.
That was fun.
I saw that.